Hi all, I'm glad most of you submitted the second assignment. Remember to go to the feedback on Brightspace and read the attached file with comments on your answers. I hope you enjoy reading the first part of Heidegger's question concerning technology. I know it is a difficult text, so I posted on Brightspace the following recommendations for reading philosophy. First, look up in a dictionary or Google all the words or expressions that you don't know and that appear in the text. Second, read slowly and carefully. Give yourself several hours to study each text. Third, stay focused on the main ideas, that is, the thesis that the author is stating and defending. Identify these main ideas. Don't lose yourself in some specific examples or digressions that the author does. Fourth, read at least two times the text, the first time trying to obtain a general vision of the main ideas proposed by the author, the second time focusing on the arguments that they give to defend these ideas. Now let's go over in detail Heidegger's essay entitled The Question Concerning Technology. Martin Heidegger was born in 1889 and died in 1976. I'm going to say a few words about Heidegger's intellectual biography, since in the textbook you already read about his life. In 1927, he published his most important book, Being and Time. In this book, he argues that the type of being that defines humans is Dasein, or being there. This means that the human being is always located in the world in a concrete way. Thereby, the mode of being of humans is a being in the world. I will present a brief summary of the main ideas of the question concerning technology, so you have a clear general idea of the essay in its whole. Technology is a way of revealing. That is, it is a way of thinking, perceiving, and interacting with the world. Technology is not just a tool, a mere means to an end, nor a human activity. Modern technology has a particular way of revealing, which is called challenging and enframing. Challenging orders everything as a standing reserve. Human beings do not control this way of revealing. According to Kuckelberg, Heidegger concludes that humans become themselves a standing reserve, human resource. However, we're going to study a passage where this conclusion is called into question, and the first topic of the first essay of this class will be a discussion about this idea in Heidegger's essay. One of the objectives of the question concerning technology by Heidegger is to establish a free relationship to technology. Once we understand enframing and the essence of technology, then we are already more free, Kuckelberg explains. In this line of thought, Heidegger says, when we once open ourselves expressly to the essence of technology, we find ourselves unexpectedly taken into a freeing claim. The danger of modern technology is the rule of enframing, not technology itself. Heidegger is not against technology. The realm of art may provide a realm in which we can reflect on the non-technological essence of technology, Kuckelberg explains. The question concerning technology was published in 1954, is a later essay of Heidegger. He begins by saying, in what follows we shall be questioning concerning technology. Questioning builds a way. The way is a way of thinking, which is different from theorizing. Thinking opens us to the essence of something in the world. Theorizing leads to controlling the object of analysis through making the correct observations. We shall be questioning concerning technology, and in so doing we should like to prepare a free relationship to it. The relationship will be free if it opens our human existence to the essence of technology. But what is the essence of technology? In the first footnote written by the translator, he explains that one of Heidegger's principal aims in this essay is to seek the true meaning of essence through or by way of the correct meaning. He will later show that Wesen does not simply mean what something is, but that it means further the way in which something pursues its course, the way in which it remains through time as what it is, or the way in which something endures. The essence of technology is by no means anything technological, Heidegger says. Thus, we shall never experience our relationship to the essence of technology so long as we merely conceive and push forward the technological, put up with it, or evade it. So Heidegger is saying that even if we are promoting, stopping, or evading technology, that is not our relationship with the essence of technology, because the essence of technology is not technological. The problem is that we are usually blind to the essence of technology because we think it is a neutral instrument. Whether we passionately affirm or deny technology, everywhere we remain unfree and chained to technology. We are delivered to it in the worst possible way when we regard it as something neutral. For this conception of it, to which today we particularly like to do homage, make us utterly blind to the essence of technology. Now, what the essay's title is the question concerning technology and not what is technology. We ask the question concerning technology when we ask what it is. And the issue is that the answer to what is technology is the following. Everyone knows the two statements that answer our question. One says, technology is a means to an end. The other says, technology is a human activity. So that is technology. The manufacture and utilization of equipment, tools, and machines, the manufacture and use things themselves, and the needs and ends that they serve all belong to what technology is. The whole complex of these contrivances is technology. Technology itself is a contrivance, or in Latin, an instrumentum. But remember that we are not interested in what is technology, we are interested in the essence of technology. The current conception of technology, according to which it is a means and a human activity, can therefore be called the instrumental and anthropological definition of technology. Modern technology, too, is a means to an end. This is why the instrumental conception of technology conditions every attempt to bring man into the right relation to technology. Everything depends on our manipulating technology in the proper manner as a means. The instrumental conception of technology involves the will to master it. The will to master it becomes all the more urgent the more technology threatens to slip from human control. Suppose now that technology were no mere means. How will it stand with the will to master it? In that case, it will be absurd to want to master it. Yet we said, did we not, that the instrumental definition of technology is correct, to be sure. The correct always fixes upon something pertinent in whatever is under consideration. However, in order to be correct, this fixing by no means need to uncover the thing in question in its essence. This correct definition of technology as an instrument keeps uncovered or hidden the true essence of technology. At this point in the essay, we notice an opposition between what is correct and what is true. Only at the point where such an uncovering of the essence of technology happens does the true come to pass. For that reason, the merely correct is not yet the true. Only the true brings us into a free relationship with that which concerns us from out of its essence. Accordingly, the correct instrumental definition of technology still does not show us technology's essence. In order that we may arrive at this, or at least come close to it, we must seek the true by way of the correct. It is a weak opposition, since we will seek the true by way of the correct. What is the instrumental itself? Within what do such things as means and end belong? A means is that whereby something is effected and thus attained. Whatever has an effect as its consequence is called a cause. The end in keeping with which the kind of means to be used is determined is also considered a cause. Wherever ends are pursued and means are employed, wherever instrumentality reigns, there reigns causality. Since instrumentality is associated with causality, we're going to study Aristotle's typology of causality. First, the causa materialis, the material, the matter out of which, for example, a silver chalice is made. Second, the causa formalis, the form, the shape into which the material enters. Third, the causa finalis, the end, for example, the sacrificial rite, in relation to which the chalice required is determined as to its form and matter. Fourth, the causa efficiens, which brings about the effect that is the finish, actual chalice, in this instance, the silversmith. But why are we studying Aristotelian causality? What technology is, when represented as a means, discloses itself when we trace instrumentality back to fourfold causality. In relation to the aforementioned four, what does cause really mean? From whence does it come that the causal character of the four causes is so unifiedly determined that they belong together? So long as we do not allow ourselves to go into these questions, causality and with it instrumentality, and with this the accepted definition of technology, remain obscure and groundless. What we call cause and the Roman calls causa is called aesion by the Greeks, that to which something else is indebted. Today we are too easily inclined either to understand being responsible and being indebted moralistically as a lapse, or else to construe them in terms of effecting. In either case we bar to ourselves the way to the primal meaning of that which is later called causality. So long as this way is not open up to us, we shall also fail to see what instrumentality, which is based on causality, properly is. The four ways of being responsible bring something into appearance. They let it come forth into presencing. The principal characteristic of being responsible is this starting something on its way into arrival. It is in the sense of such as starting something on its way into arrival that being responsible is an occasioning or an inducing to go forward. The four ways of occasioning let what is not yet present arrive into presencing. According to Plato, every occasion for whatever passes beyond the non-present and goes forward into presencing is poiesis, bringing forth. So causality is a bringing forth. The modes of occasioning, the four causes, are at play then within bringing forth. Occasioning has to do with the presencing of that which at any given time comes to appearance in bringing forth. Bringing forth brings hither out of concealment forth into unconcealment. Bringing forth comes to pass only insofar as something conceals comes into unconcealment. This coming rests and moves freely within what we call revealing. The Greeks have the word aletheia for revealing. The Romans translate this with veritas. We say truth, and usually understand it as the correctness of an idea or representation. But we'll see that Heidegger has another notion of truth. For Heidegger, truth is revealing or unconcealing. Technology is a way of revealing. What has the essence of technology to do with revealing? The answer, everything. For every bringing forth is grounded in revealing. Bringing forth, indeed, gathers within itself the four modes of occasioning, causality, and rules them throughout. Within its domain belong end and means belongs instrumentality. Instrumentality is considered to be the fundamental characteristic of technology. If we inquire step by step into what technology represented as means actually is, then we should arrive at revealing. Technology is therefore no mere means. Technology is a way of revealing. If we give heed to technology as a way of revealing, then another whole realm for the essence of technology will open itself up to us. It is the realm of revealing, that is, of truth. Now Heidegger inquires the etymology of the word technology. We ask the simple question of what the name technology means. The word stems from the Greek. Technikon means that which belongs to techne. We must observe two things with respect to the meaning of this word. One is that techne is the name not only for the activities and skills of the craftsman, but also for the arts of the mind and the fine arts. Techne belongs to bringing forth, to poiesis. It is something poetic. So in its etymology, the word technology is connected to the arts and poetry. From earliest times until Plato, the word techne is linked with the word episteme. Both words are names for knowing in the widest sense. They mean to be entirely at home in something, to understand and be expert in it. Such knowing provides an opening up. As an opening up, it is a revealing. Techne is a mode of aletheion. It reveals whatever does not bring itself forth and does not yet lie here before us. Whatever can look and turn out now one way and now another. Whoever builds a house or a ship, or forges a sacrificial chalice, reveals what is to be brought forth, according to the perspectives of the four modes of occasioning. Techne as revealing. Thus, what is decisive in techne lies in the aforementioned revealing. It is as revealing and not as manufacturing that techne is a bringing forth. Thus, the clue to what the word techne means and to how the Greeks define it lead us into the same context that opened itself to us when we pursued the question of what instrumentality as such in truth might be. Technology is a mode of revealing. Technology comes to presence in the realm where revealing and unconcealment take place, where aletheia, truth, happens. Modern technology as a way of revealing. What is modern technology? It too is a revealing. Only when we allow our attention to rest on this fundamental characteristic does that which is new in modern technology show itself to us. And yet, the revealing that holds sway throughout modern technology does not unfold into a bringing forth in the sense of poiesis. The revealing that rules in modern technology is a challenging, or summoning to action, which puts to nature the unreasonable demand that it supply energy that can be extracted and stored as such. Nature as a standing reserve. A tract of land is challenged into the putting out of coal and ore. The earth now reveals itself as a coal mining district, the soil as a mineral deposit. The field that the peasant formerly cultivated and set in order appears differently than it did when to set in order still meant to take care of and to maintain. The work of the peasant does not challenge the soil of the field. In sowing grain, it places seed in the keeping of the forces of growth and watches over its increase. The coal that has been hauled out in some mining district has not been produced in order that it may simply be present somewhere or other. It is a stockpile, that is, it is on coal, ready to deliver the sun's warmth that is stored in it. In the context of the interlocking processes pertaining to the orderly disposition of electrical energy, even the rain itself appears as something at our command. A river appears as something at our command. The hydroelectric plant is not built into the Rhine River, as was the old wooden bridge that joined bank with bank for hundreds of years. Rather, the river is dammed up into the power plant. What the river is now, namely, a water power supplier, derives from out of the essence of the power station. The revealing of modern technology is challenging. The revealing that rules throughout modern technology has the character of a setting upon, in the sense of a challenging force. That challenging happens in that the energy concealed in nature is unlocked. What is unlocked is transformed. What is transformed is stored up. What is stored up is in turn distributed. And what is distributed is switched about ever anew. Unlocking, transforming, storing, distributing, and switching about are ways of revealing. The revealing reveals to itself its own manifoldly interlocking paths through regulating their course. This regulating itself is, for its part, everywhere secured. Regulating and securing even become the chief characteristics of the revealing that challenges. The challenging orders everything as a standing reserve. What kind of unconcealment is it then that is peculiar to that which comes to stand forth through this setting upon that challenges? Everywhere everything is ordered to stand by, to be immediately at hand, indeed, to stand there just so that it may be on call for a further ordering. Whatever is ordered about in this way has its own standing. We call it the standing reserve. Challenging and human activity. Who accomplishes the challenging setting upon through which what we call the real is revealed as a standing reserve? Obviously, the human being. To what extent is the human being capable of such a revealing? Human being can indeed conceive, fashion, and carry through this or that in one way or another. But the human being does not have control over unconcealment itself, in which at any given time the real shows itself or withdraws. Only to the extent that the human being, for their part, is already challenged to exploit the energies of nature, can this revealing that orders happen. If the human being is challenged, ordered to do this, then does not the human being themselves belong even more originally than nature within the standing reserve? The current talk about human resources, about the supply of patients for a clinic, gives evidence of this. However, the following is the passage that I mentioned at the beginning of the lecture that calls into question the conclusion that the human being is transformed into standing reserve. Heidegger says, "Yet precisely because the human being is challenged more originally than are the energies of nature, that is, into a process of ordering, they never are transformed into mere standing reserve. Since the human being drives technology forward, they take part in ordering as a way of revealing." In any case, in the second part of this lecture, we will analyze another passage where Heidegger states again that the human being is transformed into a standing reserve. As you can see, the debate is open. When the human being investigating, observing, pursues nature as an area of her own conceiving, she has already been claimed by a way of revealing that challenges her to approach nature as an object of research, until even the object disappears into the objectlessness of a standing reserve. Modern technology as a revealing that orders is then no merely human doing. Challenging gathers the human being into ordering. This gathering concentrates the human being upon ordering the real as a standing reserve.